Both series center on an iconic hero, but there's more to both of them than just a great protagonist. Who will lock in a victory?
Finally! There can be no argument. The game is afoot.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and in this installment of Versus, we're comparing the Sherlock Holmes and Doctor Who franchises to see which is superior. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. Round 1. Cultural Impact.
I don't know what to make of this. Excellent work.
The influence of Sherlock Holmes on popular culture and fiction as a whole is tremendous. In fact, you'd be hard-pressed to find a person who hasn't heard of Sherlock Holmes. The character's fame is such that some people believe he was actually a real person. And admit it, you've totally used his name as a quip when someone says something a little too obvious.
It's elementary, dear Data.
The character and his stories have influenced countless fictional works since their creation, with the great detective even holding the Guinness World Record for most portrayed movie character in history. Though there were intellectual heroes before him, Sherlock is perhaps the most enduring and popular example of the archetype.
Dear God, what is it like in your funny little brains? It must be so boring.
When compared to Sherlock Holmes, Doctor Who's legacy is younger. At a little over 50 years old, the franchise has simply had less time to seep into the public consciousness. Despite its rough start, first airing in the midst of the coverage of President John F. Kennedy's assassination in November of 1963, the show has gone from cult phenomenon to global obsession.
Because Doctor Who belongs to all of us.
The revival in 2005 skyrocketed the merchandise sales for the franchise, with Whovians buying every Tardis blanket, adipose plush, and sonic screwdriver universal remote they could get their hands on. It's had significant influence on much of British television, particularly sci-fi programs. And many aspects, from its villains to its theme song, are considered iconic. Though Doctor Who has undeniable influence, we're giving this round to Sherlock Holmes, whose effects on the world are truly incalculable. Winner, Sherlock Holmes.
Was I right? I was, wasn't I?
Round 2. Stories.
My dad was always going on about the things they were doing at Baskerville. About the type of monsters they were breeding there.
It may seem difficult to believe, but Sir Arthur Conan Doyle only wrote 4 Sherlock Holmes novels, along with 56 short stories. And when it comes to Conan Doyle's work, the devil's in the details.
And I assume this Adler woman has some compromising photographs.
You're very quick, Mr. Holmes.
His Holmes stories always involve little hints of how to solve the mystery. And in the end, when it all comes together, it's an ingenious work of art. Whether he's deciphering why a greedy stepfather would unleash a poisonous snake to off his stepdaughters, or how a red-headed pawnshop owner and a bank robbery are connected, Holmes' process fascinates us at every step. Writers in all types of media have taken the character of Sherlock Holmes, putting him into some truly unusual situations. In fact, if the franchise has one weakness, it's that there doesn't seem to be any mystery he can't solve.
Maybe somebody who says cell phone because of time spent in America. You remember, John?
Doctor Who's influence is also enormous. Whether it's being used as an educational tool or inspiring science fiction franchises like Alien, these stories have proven the franchise's staying power and value. The Doctor has gotten into and out of a lot of scrapes since 1963, facing baddies like the Daleks, Cybermen, and the Master.
This time, Doctor, there will be no mistake.
I wouldn't count on that.
Over the years, he's been given more and more of a backstory, with more attention being given to his origins on Gallifrey, as well as the time war that makes him the mysterious and tortured figure we see in the revival.
Go back to your lives. Go and be the Doctor that I could never be.
Whose stories themselves can be incredibly varied as well, with many incorporating genres like action, mystery, and even romance. But as much as the Doctor's zany exploits excite us, sometimes the storylines this Time Lord is thrown into seem a little contrived. While Doctor Who has an impressive number of quality stories, Sherlock Holmes has managed to fire the imaginations of countless people for twice as long. Though who knows how far Doctor Who could go once it turns 100 years old.
He transformed the pain of his tormented life into ecstatic beauty.
This was a tough call, but in the end, we have to give it to Sherlock Holmes. Winner, Sherlock Holmes.
Excellent. What else?
That's it.
That's it.
Round 3. Companions and allies.
Does your depravity know no bounds?
No.
Throughout the many adaptations of the character, Sherlock's allies have remained pretty consistent. There's Inspector Lestrade, Mrs. Hudson, his elder brother Mycroft Holmes, and his best friend, biographer, and partner, Dr. John Watson.
You're doing a we both know what's really going on here face.
We do?
No, I don't, which is why I find the face so annoying.
Though Sherlock often acts like a lone wolf, his friends definitely bring out the best in him, with Watson in particular sticking by his side to help motivate him. However, while they do get their own chances to shine in some interpretations of the characters, Sherlock's allies are usually relegated to emphasizing how clever Sherlock is.
It's fantastic. Do you know you do that, Alan?
In his travels through time and space, the Doctor has had many, many traveling companions, from humans to aliens to robot dogs.
Scene 4, Historical Reenactments Catalogue.
Like Holmes, the Doctor's friends make him a better man, as they balance out his eccentricities and help stop him from going too far. Usually.
Remarkable.
You see, you're not listening to a word.
Yes, of course I am. You went down into the cellar to see if Tommy was still there, right?
Half right.
Sure, sometimes it seems as though the Doctor's companions are only there to make him look good, but don't forget, they're often given important roles in both the Doctor's stories and in stories of their own, as several standout companions have received their own spin-offs. Just as fans tune in to see the Doctor, they also develop quite the attachment for those he brings around in his Tardis.
Can't I decide a wooden box?
Although Sherlock's friends are iconic in their own way, the Doctor's companions have managed to be there for him, and as a result, they're now considered every bit as heroic as he is. Winner, Doctor Who.
Thanks for looking after me.
Round 4. Villains.
Playing gay. Did you like the little touch with the underwear?
People have died.
That's what people do!
In all his years solving mysteries, Sherlock Holmes has apprehended plenty of murderers and other criminals. His most recurring nemesis, at least outside of Conan Doyle stories, is Professor James Moriarty. But other memorable foes are marksman Colonel Sebastian Moran, blackmailer Charles Augustus Milverton, and femme fatale Irene Adler, though they have a complicated relationship.
I don't think Kate caught your name.
I'm so sorry. I'm...
Sherlock's best enemies challenge his prodigious deductive skills. Fortunately, the master sleuth has got a select few friends to help him when his talents come up short, or when his lack of social skills might otherwise hold him back.
Who'd go to a wedding? That's the question. Who would bother to go to any lengths to get themselves to a wedding?
The Doctor Who Rogues Gallery is positively massive, and its members have threatened planets, civilizations, and even reality itself. Everyone's favorite wayward Time Lord has faced everything from insane computers to power-hungry businessmen to entire alien races.
You are superior in only one respect.
What is that?
You are better at dying.
However, the Doctor's most ardent foes include the genocidal Daleks, the emotionless Cybermen, and the Master, who is the Doctor's Moriarty. The Doctor's enemies are a mainstay in the franchise because they fire the imagination as much as the main hero does, and have helped turn Doctor Who into the franchise it is today. While both sets of villains are iconic to their franchises, we feel that the greater threat posed by the Doctor's foes, along with their greater numbers and impact on the Whoniverse, secures them this victory. Winner, Doctor Who.
Already I have seen them sacrificed today for their beloved Doctor.
Round 5. Hero.
I wasn't even at home yesterday. I was in Dublin.
It's only my fault you weren't listening.
Shut up!
Sherlock Holmes may be the template for the modern detective, but he's so much more than just an archetype. Though his personality can vary somewhat depending on the adaptation, Sherlock is generally a brilliant, if socially disinclined man, whose intelligence often leaves him separated from other people, except for his beloved Watson.
Oh, we're on a schedule.
You'll thank me.
Sherlock's extraordinary sleuthing skills and his difficulties interacting with society have made him a perennially fascinating character, as he's demonstrated that someone can still be a hero, even if they aren't what most people consider normal.
I am the most unpleasant, rude, ignorant, and all-round obnoxious arsehole that anyone could possibly have the misfortune to meet.
To keep things fresh year after year, Doctor Who has successfully incorporated recasting their main hero as a plot point. As a Time Lord, the Doctor is a two-hearted alien whose personality shifts with every regeneration, changing his face as well as his fashion sense. This has allowed many different sides of the character to be explored.
And doesn't that scare you to death?
He's displayed everything from warmth and kindness to cold fury, sometimes even within the same episode. In general, however, the Doctor is a courageous, unpredictable, and eccentric protagonist, whose greatest strength is his ability to resolve conflicts without resorting to violence. And to fulfill the promise of his chosen moniker, he just wants to make people better.
I never would. Have you got that?
Sherlock Holmes has been an influential character for well over a century, but during that time, the detective has rarely shown us anything new. Because he's proven himself to be a well-rounded protagonist that is constantly evolving and showing us something new, we have to award this round, and therefore the contest, to the Doctor. Winner, Doctor Who. And with that, Doctor Who secures a narrow, though well-deserved win.
Fantastic! Oh, fantastic!
Do you agree with our verdict? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe for new videos published every day.